Go ahead. What do you think?
Grab this cereal.
I never felt this way. Oh, Tua. Tua a cool dude, bro. Tua is one cool dude. Got him entering the stadium, Starbucks or something in his hand. That is one cool cat. Let me see what we got here.
You weren't talking to me, were you?
Nah, I was watching I was just watching the TV and they were showing Tua entering the building.
Yeah.
So I was like, I said, that's a cool dude right there. That is
So
one.
you got one more week. You'll be back next week. They claim.
Folks are like, wow. Okay. I guess he will come back sometime. I think people was like, remember all those comments? That should be it for him this season. I wouldn't even come back. I'm suing, So some people.
Y'all sound good when you ain't the one in it.
Indeed. So it is what it is. Let that man play, man. So how you feeling this morning, bro?
I be feeling good as soon as this cereal get in this bowl.
Is it the flakes, frosted flakes?
You already know.
I'm about 30 minutes ahead of you, bro. I just put down 2 big bowls about 30 minutes ago.
But I was sitting around, I was actually in the kitchen, cleaning up a little bit, and I threw on a podcast. I was going to listen to the Shaq Drink Champs joint. Then I saw that there was a new Kanye Drink Champs joint.
Come on. Really?
I didn't get through the whole thing. I just stopped. I just said, let me get some clips of this joint and put this together real quick. Yeah, he wilding. 45 minutes. It's like 45 minutes of wilding. I mean, Math Hoffa already didn't release the Kanye interview he had. Kanye talking about he ain't got no other outlets. Yet he was just on Tucker Carlson. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't try to make sense of it. I just, yeah, it is what it is.
Good morning, Caesar.
Yes, Caesar, my man. How you feeling?
Now the gangster's first thing this morning. He says the
Caesar,
best
you good?
teams
You good, bro?
Huh?
Caesar, you good? Caesar, how are you? How you doing today?
You know how he's good. The best teams play on prime time this week: Philly, Dallas, and the Chargers. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what Caesar says. But anyway, man, we've had a crazy sports week so far. It definitely started with yesterday. So who'd have thought that we'd be sitting here today and saying that both the Braves and the Dodgers are out of the playoffs already?
Go night.
Yep. So I would have to imagine, well, it depends on who you ask, like who is more stunned. I mean, the Braves coming off of winning a championship, and then the Dodgers being the relative favorite in the National League anyway, and neither one of them will be advancing to the championship series. So that's what's crazy, right?
Yeah, man. You never know. I mean, the Padres came out and did their thing. I can't even be mad at the Padres, though. I can't be mad.
Right. Oh, not mad at all. Remarkable story. I mentioned it before. You think about everything they've been through between some of the things behind the scenes that I heard about the coaches, some of the coaches inside the organization. Hear about the way the pitching staff is rounded out. Losing Tatis. Making a trade for Juan Soto. Sometimes we make these trades. They don't always mean instant success. That means you're getting a star player in your organization. And everything is rendered out perfectly, man.
Everything's coming up roses for the Padres right now. Like I said, I ain't mad at them. Was it the first time in 24 years they've been to the National League Championship Series? So, salute.
Yeah, I ain't mad at them either. That's some pretty dope stuff, though. Maybe they keep it going. And for the Phillies, much respect to the Phillies taking out my Atlanta Braves. Speaking with Andre Collie yesterday, and he and I had the exact same thought, which was something I had told a buddy of mine, or my high school classmate of mine, about his Phillies. And that was the fact that this Phillies team, at least right now, looks like the Braves did last year. You catch fire at the right time. The pitching starts to click, the bats wake up, and boy, have the Phillies bats waking up, awoken. So this is going to be a very, very interesting National League series, and I am here for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be nice.
Yeah, heck of a seventh inning by the Padres last night. The Yankees, man. Wow, like yesterday, watching them play that game yesterday was crazy. And watching just to drop the ball on it, because I was reading some of the comments on Twitter yesterday, and Yankee Nation was pretty sure they was gonna win this thing. They didn't go their way yesterday.
Oops.
That was crazy. So Cleveland's up 2-1. So that thing could be decided today, and if not, it'll be decided tomorrow, man. And then of course, Houston and the Mariners, these fools decided they wanted to play a doubleheader yesterday with no break.
Straight through.
You talk about entertaining. That was highly entertaining. Like
that's twice, right? Well, not twice. I mean, not.
You had the long one. Yeah. This joint 18. And what's crazy is we watch a lot of NFL games that are low scoring. You'd be like, I'm bored to death. This joint was interesting. Like, I had it on the TV screen. I had some college games on spread out amongst the tablets, but I had it on my TV screen just sitting there watching. Like somebody gonna put something over the wall. Somebody gonna at least get to second. You know what I'm saying? The hit gonna come and they gonna round the bases. We gonna have a play at the plate, and this thing is gonna be over. But if a non-scoring baseball affair for that long could be entertaining, that was it.
I respect it.
Yeah, so shout out. So even though my guys are at home, I'm still pretty invested, pretty excited about the possibilities. So I think I'm tripping off the people in the American League though, because if you look at this, you have people that are tired of the Astros and don't like the Astros, and the cheaters and the whole nine yards, but they still here. Then there's not really a fine line with the Yankees. The Yankees kind of like the Cowboys to a lot of people. You like them or you hate them.
Yep.
I fall on neither. I got much respect for the Yankee organization, but like those people in the American League, like who are you rooting for now? You know what I'm saying? Like if you are not a Yankee fan, or you say who are you really rooting for in the American League? You hoping that the Cleveland, get this thing done. You got to worry about it. You can root for Cleveland, which nobody talks about Cleveland, who's only out here winning divisions and stuff like that. But that's crazy.
I mean, it's the Guardians. What do you do? The Guardians.
It didn't seem like we would make like the Guardians on a baseball team is still kind of crazy, but it seems like we didn't make as much fun of the Guardians as we do the Commanders.
Yeah, well, the Commanders are a joke among within themselves, so that's why. As we not I was about to say as we saw Thursday night. Yeah, we saw it Thursday night. I can't even not say it. I mean, it was watching in Chicago. It was bad. It was bad.
No doubt. So shout out, man. I'm very interested to see how this thing goes. Right, I'm really very interested to see how this thing goes. College football yesterday. Look, we had at least 6 or 7 undefeated teams go down yesterday. Amongst them, of course, we were all watching and commenting on the Bama and Tennessee game. And I've been telling people all week. Now, I didn't say that Tennessee was going to win, but I said these people are going to put up points on Alabama. I'm telling you. And shout out to our guy, Alan Sanders. He says that those are the people who don't watch college football really. What they said, Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee. These guys got offense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 34 plus in every game this particular year. They didn't hit the 50s a couple of times. So you might say who they're playing. But when that offense gets clicking, they're amongst the best in the nation. I'm telling you right now, offensively. So shout out to everything they've done. And shout out to Hendon Hooker, who looks like he picked the right place to go.
Bruh. Yeah, I'm glad to see Hendon Hooker balling out. It just now I wasn't a Justin Fuente hater or disliker throughout his tenure at Virginia Tech. But if enough people leave, you got to think something ain't right. Something ain't right. But dang, that man left, disappeared for a second, and has come back with a vengeance at Tennessee.
Yeah, man. And a lot of people, I saw the comments yesterday, and people were asking, well, why did he leave? And if you remember, he was having some issues with the coaching staff. He felt like they were being too secretive about a bunch of stuff. The communication was poor. In fact, he said there were things that were going on that he felt he should have been involved in. There was some talking he wasn't involved in it. So he went to look for a place that he felt more comfortable. And Tennessee ended up, being that spot. He had met Jay Graham, who's an assistant coach, who's traveled around for a while. He had a stint at Florida State among some other places, and they seem to really hit it off. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're from the same town, I believe.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Then you bring in a quarterback for a coach. When people remember Josh Heupel, former Oklahoma. And sometimes you get a quarterback situation, things pan out pretty good. So far for the Tennessee Volunteers, okay, they're doing their thing. They're exciting to watch.
Yeah,
I guarantee more people will watch them on the college game now after what they saw yesterday.
Absolutely,
and they're seeing what I've been seeing all season.
And it was, when he was at Virginia Tech, it was 4 quarterbacks, and you never knew, how it was going to go down. It was a whole lot of mess. And I guess that can be credited or blamed on Fuente, but yeah, shout out to him. Love to see it.
Good morning, everybody. No doubt, appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the great comments, man. We definitely appreciate y'all support. What's up, everybody? JB, what's up, bro? Damon, what's up, my man? Said, damn, a baseball, Jets, baby. In my RVA voice. Hey, bro, let me tell you. I'm gonna go and put that up there right now where I can see it. We're gonna talk about them very Jets here today. We're gonna talk about them Jets today.
That's my guy. What up, Dane?
Yeah, no doubt. So shout out to everybody. We're gonna talk about the Jets here. That's one of our games. Matter of fact, when we get to the NFL, I believe that is going to be our first game. We get the picks. That's gonna be our first game. So big one today. Yeah, exciting days. USC went down. Oklahoma State went down. JMU lost to Georgia Southern. And there's a couple other squads, but it was an exciting day of college football for the most part. Every team that I root for, just about every sport, took an L yesterday, but it's all good. It's all good. I enjoy sports of all kinds, so it has to happen, and it is what it is. But we ride.
And I thought you were gonna say it might continue throughout the weekend, but we'll skip that. Don't worry about that.
It might. But I got something coming up later in the week that's gonna make me feel a little bit better. So we'll touch on that in the end too. So yeah. So I'm sure it probably gonna make you happy too. But we're riding this high, talking about the great football we've had so far over the weekend. But we gotta step back a couple of days and take a dip down. So it's a little bit of a low. That Thursday night football game, bro. Did you even give it 3 minutes of your time?
I ain't gonna lie. I made a video. I mean, you saw it, TikTok joint.
It was great.
Yo, I was like, I could have done this last week too, because it was bad last week too. But to be honest, I didn't watch the first half. I just looked at the score, and I was like, looks like last week. It's, looking terrible like last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got close to the end of the third quarter. My wife fell asleep, and there was literally nothing on TV. Like, nothing else was on TV. Worth watching, I should say. So I was like, you know what? Let me just ride this out. I threw in a fourth quarter lineup on FanDuel just to make it interesting. Give me something to do. Man, I could have just literally gone back to sleep or going to sleep for real under the blanket because that joint was.
Horrible.
And it's not like we started out the season with bad Thursday night games. But even when I think back years ago when they first started Thursday night games, it was like we're gonna take the most ridiculous matchup that nobody wants to see, throw it on Thursday. It's the only game on, and people who love the NFL they can't help but watch. So somebody's gonna watch this, regardless of what the matchup is. It feels like we've gone back to that time again in these last couple games. Hopefully, it gets better. I haven't looked at the schedule upcoming. Do you know what's on the horizon?
But this Thursday, I
Yeah.
haven't checked it yet. Usually I'm a week ahead of time, but I haven't checked it yet. Here's a question though from our guy JB though. So would y'all rather have 2 Monday night games and get rid of the Thursday night game? Yes. Yes. And look, I'm
I like that
telling you,
question.
I saw the other, what was it? What week was it? Week 2 we had
Yeah.
2 Monday night games, right?
Yep.
And you're not gonna make everybody happy. Right. Twitter, a couple of other Facebook groups that I'm in, you know the comments was coming. You're gonna water down your product. I mean, why not focus on one? You're gonna do this, that, and the third. Nah, I love this because let's be real. We look where we are. We in 2022, man. Let's be honest. Most households, people got access to be able to pull up on a tablet or somewhere and something alternative, an alternate game and another game or something like that.
Right.
And if you're like me, I'm watching any given Saturday or Sunday, whenever. I've got 2 things going on at least. I might have 3 on a Saturday. You might have to have 3. You got baseball, you got multiple college football games with others. So what are you taking away from? What if you are a true football fan, what are you really taking away from?
I'd be okay. I mean, I'd rather if it's gonna be these matchups, I'd rather the 2. And if I have to have one or the other, I think I like the fact that there's a game on Thursday, but like we got to do better with the scheduling. Like there's nothing in the past, looking back to last season, there's nothing that would make somebody say, you know what would be a good game on a Thursday night? Washington and Chicago. Who wants to see that? Who wants to see that? Not even Washington and Chicago fans want to see that. Not as the only game on. Let that be part of the 1 o'clock on Sunday. But I would personally love a Thursday, take away a Sunday 1 o'clock, and have 2 Monday nights. Period. Myself. I think this is the first season in the last maybe 4 or 5 that there wasn't 2 games on the first Monday night, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a minute since it wasn't 2 games, and usually it's
On the first
AFC West games. But yeah, I love 2 games. Start the first one early, or it's an East Coast game. Second one a West Coast game. It's like a good time to me.
Jay, what's up, cousin? Hey, so this is his time.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah,
Well,
they do.
maybe they
Look,
do,
look.
but we shouldn't have to suffer.
No, but I agree with him to an extent. Not that I give a darn what the rest of the people think. Just like when people complain about why we got to see the Cowboys every Thanksgiving, right?
How does it get back to the Cowboys?
Because we did. So, see, my stuff and kick. I had my frosted flakes before you did, so I'm feeling a little, but
A little.
yeah, that sugar. I'm on that sugar rush right now. Backing it up with this caffeine. But what I'm saying is they cry about seeing the same teams on Thanksgiving, right? Why we got to watch Detroit. It's tradition, man. Sports are built on tradition.
True.
Okay. The Cowboys, say what you want. It's a tradition. People watch. They're going to watch that game regardless of who the Cowboys are playing. You love them or hate them. I mean, it's tradition. And then they've already given you the Sunday night game where they mix it up. Well, to me, you throw an extra Monday night game on, it gives more people an opportunity to see their team play because not everyone has the red zone. Right. Not everybody is great really loves leaving the house to go to a sports bar. As packed as the sports bars are on Sundays, not everybody still wants to go. There are a lot of people who, if their team is playing, if they didn't have to go to watch, and this is no shade on them because I'm backing them this year, but I'm just saying like the Jets, right? If you're a Jets fan, you like rock, you're a Minnesota fan. If you don't have the NFL package or something, you got to go to a sports bar, or you can use some alternative ways. But either way, not everybody's bold enough to do that or have the means to do that. But I would. So I'm advocating for a Monday night game. No, I'm not saying NFL get it done. But if they say, hey, we're talking about putting an extra game, putting a Monday night game, so have 2 games going on. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. You ain't gonna hear me crying about it.
Yep.
So, my team on TV line anyway. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I don't need no extra. I don't need nobody. But anyway.
Hey, it just hit me what you were talking about. Something that was gonna make you happy and make me happy as well. It just popped in my brain.
Sure. I'm pretty sure
like,
it's something fairly simple, but it's all love. Let me see who we got here. Like, a lot of people commented. I love it. That game was terrible, and I'm a Washington fan. In my opinion, Ron lost the locker room with his comment on West. It's very interesting that you just brought up Ron. Because we all agreed that this game was terrible, right? We all agree that this game was terrible. But we got to talk about this. Let's go and talk about this. Because this is a question that I got, man. This is a question that I have, and I'm really want to get your input on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Riverboat Ron. Has he been overvalued as a head football coach? Because you remember, he was one of the hottest names out there. And when teams were looking for coaches a couple seasons ago, and they were looking to bring somebody in, he took several interviews. Washington landed this guy, and they were hype about it. And I'm not gonna lie, even as a non-Washington supporter, I'm not gonna use hate, it's a strong word, but I do use it sometimes. I was like, hey, they got him. I kind of hoping Jerry would take a look at it. Didn't go our way. But did we really overvalue him as a head football coach as being like a really good coach?
Well, did we say really good? You think?
That's the consensus. People think that he's a good football coach. He got to a Super Bowl, right?
He did. Yeah. I'm starting to hear echo of myself. I don't know if that's me on my end.
Yeah, I won't hear nothing over here.
Okay. Probably, but I mean, he's a coach. He's a head coach. Like the quality of his actual coaching, actually, but he's always had a solid defense. Like from at least in Carolina, he probably had a solid defense along with Cam. I always considered him a good coach because it seemed like good decisions were being made in tight situations, or at least they were coming out on the better end of a lot of situations where coaching might be needed. Quality coaching might be needed. So I don't know. Washington makes things look worse, though. That organization kind of. Name somebody who has looked good somewhere and come to Washington and look better, coach or player.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Right.
That is a tough one. I'm sitting there trying to think.
Now we used to say, well, not we used to say, but everybody used to say, Washington signs people too late in their careers or after they've already been great, and spends too much money on players that are past their prime or whatever the case may be. I can't think of a single person. I can't think of a single person that has come to Washington and looked better.
That's a tough one.
Nobody.
That's a tough one. Comment here from Ray Washington. What's up, Ray? That was a perception hire. He preached discipline, and we were straight off of a very undisciplined year. We have young dynamic players with an old school coach who does not connect with them.
Ray, do you think that Rivera's comments, was it in the offseason when he was talking about political stuff or stuff that would be considered political, I guess? Do you think that that type of commentary affects the locker room? Can that affect the locker room when it comes from your head coach? Because not a lot of coaches out here that's going to be speaking on politics. I mean, it's just not. But Rivera did. So I'm curious, do you think that could affect the locker room or how some of his players view him?
This is from Travis Ridley. As the league evolves, the old school coaches have to be willing to evolve, and he has not. And I'm hearing that a lot. I heard that on one of the CBS shows the other day. And it might have been the DA show, and he had a guest on it. Somebody said the exact same thing. And I actually was listening to one of the local shows, and don't ask me why, because we were talking about Washington, right? And Fred Smoot came on for a second, and he did exactly some of his comments. Right. Of course, he's going to dance around it because he does work for the organization. But he didn't quite put that to bed either. Some of the comments that he made he was saying something similar to this, that it could be a maybe thing, in so many words without actually saying anything. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Oh, shout out to my guy. I don't tell nobody else this. Nobody tell anybody else this. Shout out to my guy, Trav. Trav was my favorite wide receiver in flag. Don't tell nobody else, because I think it's probably like 5 people that would say they think they were my favorite. I'm just saying. One time, shout out to Trav, and shout out to his son Brennan, who gets busy at Trinity, wide receiver.
And the other people you told that to probably listening to this show right now, you didn't hurt somebody's feelings on a Sunday. They ain't even started yet. You didn't hurt somebody's feelings.
Lil' Kev might be in here. Sorry, Lil' Kev. Sorry.
They ain't even gonna be able to enjoy their game today. Indeed, man. Indeed. Something else though, while we are on the Washington tip, and before we leave the Washington tip, there was a statement that was made, and I want to know from the masses, you folks that are listening, and yes, even the Washington fans that are here. I'm not throwing the jabs. I'm keeping it real, but it's out there, so I really need to know. Let's be real. Are the Commanders worse than the Redskins were? And I thought it was funny. I put it on my personal page, and a lot of my homeboys, a couple of my homeboys, shout out to Kevin Bingham and the rest of them, where I think Keys had said something too, but it was saying, yeah, that's a true statement. These are Washington fans, right? So are the Commanders worse than the Redskins? The people want to know, man. The people want to know.
It's so disrespectful.
Man,
go ahead.
I ain't disrespectful. It was on the internet, man.
The internet disrespectful, and you brought it back.
Hey, look, man. I take that Cowboy disrespect all day, every day, man. I'm just putting it out there. Man, Washington fans actually thought this was funny, bro. You know what I'm saying? Washington fans actually thought this joint was funny. So, you can't really just put that joint on me. Shout out to the Washington fans, man, for being such great sports.
Great sports, not great at sports.
Ray said they are. Caesar, come on, tell me some leave Washington alone, man. Let's talk about the Eagles.
Wait, what is there to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to get to that, man.
We'll talk about the Eagles.
We're going to get to that. So there's the laugh for the day. One more quick topic. Go ahead.
You didn't want to mention your man's talking about he got info on your man's.
Well, I will get to that.
Okay.
I couldn't get the what about this song by the Washington fan? Hey, I ain't put that up there. You know what?
Command. Wow. Yeah, that joint was wild.
Oh my goodness, yo. Oh my goodness. So you would talk about you want to talk about the Stop Snitching campaign? I couldn't find my snitching stuff, man, but your boy Daniel Snyder out here talking about he on his Nino Brown. If I'm going down, everybody going with me. You know, I got a whole lot of, you know, and what is this about, man? This makes him look real little boyish. Like I'm just gonna tell on everybody.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, so far none of the owners seem to be really worried about it. Like Jerry Jones, what else are you gonna do to Jerry Jones? This, you know, Jerry Jones had been through cheating scandal. He'd have been through a secret baby, a secret child scandal. He didn't got supposedly taking pictures at the gentleman's club. I mean, he out there. So what's outside of something blatantly like, unless he was coming with something like he did something blatantly racist, what else you gonna do to Jerry Jones?
That's Teflon Don right there.
Yeah, like, but he's got stuff on, but Goodell too, though. That's what he say. Like how you even plan like to stay friends with these people? Or I don't care, you know, if you care about being friends, but you see these people all the time. So, you know, it's customary when you go play at another stadium, or do they come to you? It's meet and greet, shake hands, whatever, y'all talk, whatever. Then you go to the booth that was assigned. You got
Mhm.
NFL owners meetings and things of that nature in the off season and different events.
Oh yeah, he
How
getting
do you
jumped.
think this plays out, bro?
He getting jumped.
You think, hey, how old Jerry now? About 80? You think Jerry still can throw them hands?
Hey,
Or he
look,
can pay somebody to do it?
no, he gonna just drop one elbow. One elbow. That's it. Get him, boys.
Stitching hard, man. Like, but the thing is, he's making a whole look. The thing is, if stuff go down, what's the likelihood that Goodell really gets somebody to investigate what happened to Daniel Snyder if Daniel get jumped?
He'd be like, I'll look into it.
That man making 40, some almost 50 million a year. Is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna investigate it. I'm gonna pay you, act like we investigated it. You ain't gonna do jack.
He gonna get Stevie Wonder to look into it.
Somebody gonna be rich, and we're gonna move on over here about it again. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stevie. I love you.
Oh yeah, man. It's just definitely not a good look. Last thing before we pick these games, bro. This has been the topic all week as well. Roughing the passer. Something got to be done, man. Something has got to be done to this roughing the passer rule. Now, I saw some things the other day that said that they were going to look into it over the next couple of weeks. Won't be probably a true discussion until after the season, where we can get some changes really implemented. But what can they do, man? Because both of these were horrible.
Agreed. Both of them were horrible. I don't know if this is you know, because of the rules changes, because of Tua. People like it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, so they're gonna protect him. Like it's a whole bunch of different reasons why this could be happening, but none of them are legitimate. It seems. Uh, yeah, these were horrible. I'm okay with horrible calls. Horrible calls happen. Like it's human. Referees are human. They're gonna make mistakes. These were horrible. Agreed. Horrible calls happen. It's just bad timing altogether. It just looks bad, especially when it starts with Tom Brady. That was the key.
Yeah, it started with him. Golly.
It was like, I was like, hold on, bro. He didn't throw him. He brought him around, held on to him, and did the. I don't know. Is it cow? What is it called? I know some Cowboys out here, not Cowboy fans, legit Cowboys. He looked like he was roping a calf and then rolled with him, or alligator or something. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he ain't let him go. He ain't throw him down. It was over the top, and it was crucial at that. It was crucial in that game against Atlanta.
Very crucial. But I'm gonna tell you what I found was interesting, and this is according to somebody in analytics at ESPN. So I'm just going to what I read. They're claiming though through 5 weeks of the season that roughing is actually down compared to this time period in each of the last 3 seasons.
I seems legit, but it doesn't matter when you see these two things happen. It doesn't even make a difference.
Yeah, so it's not the amount of penalties; it's just the penalty themselves. Like you
Yep.
know what I'm saying. So that's crazy. I would like to see it. I don't know where I saw this before. I think it was one of the coaches, NFL coaches, that said this. That's not going to be a fix-all. I would like to make these reviewable though. And I know they say the game is long enough, and I still know there's going to be that margin of error where we're going to review something, just like they do with regular plays. If somebody was inbounds or not, whether it was a fumble or his knee was down,
Right.
there's still sometimes we're not happy with the result, right? But I still think you should be able to get a clearer, view of the situation if you're actually reviewing it. Did he really make contact with the head? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Did he really launch it? It's a lot of stuff you can look at in making a determination of whether or not those penalties should stand. I already don't like, and I understand what they're going for because you can't control every play about where you hit the quarterback at, about you hit him high. But I've watched
Right.
a couple of plays this year where they hit the guy high, and it wasn't anything egregious, but they hit him high. There's no helmet contact. He didn't really lead with the helmet. This guy hit high, and they threw the flag, and it looked like an innocent tackle. So I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds like an oxymoron. Innocent tackle. Ain't nothing innocent
I
about a tackle.
mean, tackle can be innocent. It can be not innocent.
When Dion pushed him out of bounds. I'm sorry, Dion. That was unnecessary. Dion's
Hey,
my
man,
guy.
you made it look good though. You made it look good though. Hey, quickly last thing before we pick these games though, we stated our feelings on that. What do you this looks like this Christian McCaffrey talk is real, bro. Remember it came out about a couple of weeks ago, they were saying that they were listening to offers for players after Rule got fired. And then there was the Buffalo thing. And then it comes out of that. No, that ain't true. Buffalo hasn't looked into it. We're not doing whatever. Well, it came back a few days ago that they are actually listening to offers. So that's what they're saying. At least listening to offers. What would be the most dangerous place for him to end up?
Interesting. What would be? You know where it would be. You know where it would be, Prime? The most dangerous place?
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
It's
I
two.
take that back. I was gonna say Dallas. I was gonna say Dallas, and I'll still say Dallas, but I also think that Tampa Bay would be a problem.
Mm.
The way that throughout the years Brady has used the back out of the backfield, and McCaffrey can catch for real, so he can line up wherever. Add him into the mix because you're looking at 5 receivers, but only one of them can stay on the field. It seems
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So McCaffrey and Tampa Bay, that would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy.
Well, I think it was two teams, and it'll be the two teams we're going to talk about later. If he was to end up some kind of way, either in Buffalo or Kansas City, that's a problem.
You,
Straight problem.
you don't like McKinnon?
I love McKinney, but who you starting, McKinney or McCaffrey?
3rd and 7,
Now, you know how the Chiefs do it. They gonna keep 3, 4 running backs, bro.
Yeah, they
You
got
know,
3 right now. They got 4
McCaffrey
right
mess
now.
around, don't get but 15 touches in the game. That might be all he need. They're gonna be some dangerous touches.
Yeah, and that might keep him a little healthier.
You think Edwards-Helaire out here scoring 2 and 3 touchdowns in the game with only 35 yards rushing? What do you think this man's gonna do?
Mm, could be a problem.
Both of those would be a problem, especially with either one of those teams, because we worry about his health. Those offenses already so explosive. It's probably gonna be very few games where he's gonna have 20 plus touches.
Take some plays off. Well, not take plays off, but go out more plays. Yeah, less plays on the field equals a better chance to stay healthy.
Probably prolongs his career too. So
Yeah.
very interesting. We're gonna see what happens with that. Let's get to these picks though. So here we go. NFL Week 6, bro, and the first on the docket, as promised. We have the Jets and the Packers. And yes, we are talking about the New York Jets. Over 500 at 3-2. I know a couple of weeks ago, like, why we gotta talk about the Jets? We gotta talk about the Jets, man. And they got a good matchup today against the Packers, who also share the same record. And I don't know about everybody else outside of, Green Bay and outside of New York. I'm kind of hyped for this game.
I'd say hype is strong for me, but I agree with you. It should be a good game, especially with how annoyed, frustrated, perturbed Aaron Rodgers got to be after last week. That man got to be mad. He got to be mad taking that L on the road. Well, not on the road. Well, on the road, across the pond to the Giants. And yeah, the fact that the Jets are 3-2 is crazy. Like, did you? I don't think we had the Jets winning 7-8 games. Either of us had.
I had them improving. I think I had them improving by 2 games. I think. No,
right.
I don't think either one of us had them winning 7.
So that's nuts in itself. But I love to see it, and they're spreading the ball out. Got a couple of receivers that are playing well, and you got your man Zachy out here back in the lineup. Will it last? I don't know, but take it for what it is right now, 3-2.
Well, if there's ever a chance for them to continue what they're doing, is today. You mentioned across the pond, which is strange that we didn't have a game across the pond this morning after a couple of weeks, but you actually enjoyed the last 2.
Right.
But Green Bay just hasn't been Green Bay offensively. And we know the obvious reasons. So they're having to try to adapt the offense, to change the offense a little bit, maybe even run the football a little more, which I think they'll do today. I think both teams are going to attempt to run the football today. And I think that's what the strength. That's the key to victory. Who's going to establish the run? We've seen what the Jets have done here recently, especially with my man Breece Hall. My man is really starting to come into it. There's 2 guys that I love, young guys that are coming into their own. And I mentioned them both before the season started on this here show. One of them's not playing today. But, of course, it's Breece Hall, and the other one is Dameon Pierce, with Houston. Yep. But I think both teams try to establish the run today. Now, Aaron Rodgers, as much as he's been trying to go deep, find Lazard, and they still got to find that connection down the field. Another guy I really like, Romeo Doubs, is starting to come into his zone. He's finding the end zone. He's developing a lot of trust with Aaron Rodgers. So that's something to watch. But it's something about Saleh and these Jets. They just keep – after they took that butt whooping in week 1, every game they fight. And I really like them, man. And you add to the mix, you talking about locking up these receivers? What about Sauce Gardner, man? Sauce Gardner just coming off of winning the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Year last week, right? Got his interception, was locked down. And as you know, it's funny talking about the Jets. Do you understand that we in week 6 and they've already won the award 3 times? Yeah, Breece Hall won it, and Garrett Wilson won it back in week 2.
Yeah.
So they've had 3 rookies, 3 youngins win that award. So I really like what they are doing in this one. I'm just going to tell you now, I'm taking the Jets again today. I'm taking the Jets again today. I think it's a possibility. It could be mid to low scoring. But I'm just going to ride with a 20-7 victory. And the Jets, the Jets, 4-2.
What did you say the score was going to be?
2017.
Oh, I was going to say, Prime, you really going out there. You're going out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one as well. I don't trust Green Bay. I mean, I do trust Aaron Rodgers, but I don't trust Green Bay. However, while I like all you said about the Jets, I can't bet against the Cyborg, at least not at the crib. It's at the crib, yeah, not at the crib, against a Jets team that looks good, but I'm just waiting for the bottom to drop out. Hopefully it doesn't. I'd like to see the Jets do well, but hopefully it doesn't. I'm going Green Bay 24-20.
So you got the Packers and I got New York. Next up, we talk about these 2 teams, seems like almost every week. I mean, we're not getting this game under the circumstances we'd like to have it because we would like to have Tua on the field healthy this week, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
But we got the Vikings. Captain Kirk is traveling down to where it's usually a little bit warmer. For a game, I still think it's going to actually be pretty good. What you think?
Yeah, I actually I slid on over to MGM, the MGM website, and placed a couple joints. I did a couple parlays, right?
Okay.
But that game, boy, that's the one game I did two, and that is the one game of the ones that I used where I split split my decision because I don't know what to expect. As much as like in reality, I'm looking at Minnesota like that offensively they should light it up. But I say that every week. We both appreciate Kirk Cousins more than the average SBPer. And I'm rolling with that. I'm sticking with my man Kirk. But I should say and without Tua being on the field, it makes a difference. It clearly makes a difference in Miami's offense.
Hey,
I
sure.
just tell you right now, Prime, I'll get it out the way. Like I said, I went one sheet with Minnesota, one sheet with Miami. I think I'm leaning Minnesota though. Although they always disappoint me. They always tend to disappoint me when I expect them to get a dub. But I'm going Minnesota. Kirk Cousins. 27-17.
Okay, fair enough. I think this will be a fun game. Like I mentioned, I would love to see Tua in this one so we can have Tua and Kirk slinging around and go at it. It's not going to be the case. I do like the fact that the Dolphins seem to have found their running back because we really thought it was going to be Edmonds and then somebody else. But most it seems to be the guy they really like, right? The one thing about Minnesota, though, they've shown us that they can play any way you want to play. And what I've loved about them, they've had a couple of games this season already, whereas they had to win it at the end. So they're well attuned to that, right?
Yep.
With Kirk, we know Kirk, if it's one way you're going to get Kirk, it's going to be about it's the blitzing. And I think as far as blitzing and efficiency, the Dolphins are number 3 in the league right now, which could be a problem. But this is where you catch them too. Because the great as that secondary is, those blitzes sometimes have gotten them in trouble this season. This, of course, and this is the time that maybe Thielen or definitely Jefferson, can go out here and shine. Talked about it last week. They're getting Jefferson the ball in an array of ways now, right? So it's not just a deep pass. They're moving him around. He's going to slot. They're running him in motion. And I think that continues today. They're going to use their man's the best. And they got to because you dealing with Howard and Jones, you got to do what you got to do to get your man's open. So,
right.
But it's up to Kirk to beat the blitz. And I think for the most part, he will. Even if it means a turnover too. It could happen, right? So, but I'm rolling with the Dolphins, man. I'm rolling with the Vikings, not the Dolphins. I would roll with the Dolphins probably if Tua was playing, because we know what Reek and them can do, and we know what Waddle and that connection that they got. But he's not playing. I stick with my man's Captain Kirk, 27-22, the Minnesota Vikings.
There it is.
All right. Next on the list, very interesting game. The Bengals and the Saints about to play each other. We've talked about the Bengals a lot so far this season. Well, are they back? Are they not back? What are the issues? And the thing with the Saints is they just can't keep anybody on the field. You know what I'm saying? They started to look like some of the teams we've seen in the past few years. The bad luck that that the Niners have had, and the Chargers have had, the bad luck that the Steelers have had. The Saints have had injury issues the entire season. It looks like Andy Dalton is getting the call again.
That's the probably the most exciting part of this game for me. Andy Dalton against the Bengals. I love it. I love when quarterbacks go back, not even going back because it's in New Orleans, but get to play against their old teams. And this should be a good one. I know some people never thought Andy Dalton was good. Some people thought he was okay and think he's fallen off at this point. But if there's any time to shine, it's against your old squad. So I'm thinking Andy's gonna come in with a little bit of extra vigor and vim and vigor, and be ready for this matchup.
Yeah, I think. Look, he showed me some things last week. Even though it turned into the fact that Taysom Hill had to get busy, but he showed me a lot last week. He said he came there to win, and with the limited pieces that he had, I think he actually played pretty well. The Bengals are so funny because they still haven't broken out yet. We're sitting here waiting for Chase to get open and get busy. He has not done it yet. We're waiting for Mixon to really have their game. He really hasn't done it yet. They still haven't fixed that offensive line, and the only real shine that they've had is that some of the other receivers and since he have taken up the slack, for Chase, right? The only thing about this, the Saints got a lot of injuries, man. And I don't know what it is. Like when the chips are stacked against them, I still want to take them, especially because they playing at home. But if you look at this year, I think they've only won one time at home this year. So the injuries have actually started to catch up with them. I don't think Latimer's going to play again today. So you know how me and Clifford Jones get down. No Roger, no rerun, no Roger, no rerun, no rent, right? No Thomas, no Olave today, no win. I originally had the Saints, and I might have put them in my pool. I originally had the Saints pulling this thing out, but I keep thinking about this, man. So you're out your top three receivers. None of them are playing. Landry's not playing either. And me saying that, watch they win this game. But I'm going to go with the Bengals 24-23. I think the Saints still find a way to keep it close, even with all the injuries and everything stacked against them.
What was that score?
24-23, the Bengals.
Woo, 24-23. Got it like that. Where did we get them points from? I'm going 2013. I got Cincinnati as well.
You got Cincy? All right. Let's go to the Ravens and the Giants. Our last 1 o'clock game that we picked today. Ravens coming in at 3-2. The Giants, the team that you don't want to talk about, I ain't respecting them. All this and that. 4-1 with a chance to be 5-1, but they got to deal with Lamar. But the Giants get the game at the crib, though.
Giants get the game at the crib, which is the best thing. Well, I was about to say it's the best thing for them, but I mean, it's not like they didn't just come back from down 17 across the pond. So maybe it's not all about the crib. Maybe it's not all about the crib. Either way, yes, they got to deal with Lamar. What is there to say about Baltimore outside of they love to trick up a lead? They love to trick up a 3-score lead. Like, I don't know what that's about. Is that a fixable issue? Is that a mental thing? What is it about the squad that allows them to not give up, but kind of settle in, I guess, once they get that lead and then let teams creep back into it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what it is. It's just bad coaching, something psychological. I just don't know. But I like this game. And in years past, I may be like, oh, this is a dud. Okay, you want to watch Lamar dance on these people or whatever. But the Giants have totally bought into what Dabo is preaching. He has brought toughness back to New York. They're playing within themselves. Daniel Jones on the hot seat, but he's making the most of, what he has. Like, receivers either out for the season or disappointed. Just one of the two. Saquon is playing his tail off on all aspects. They're dumping the ball off to him. He's picking up blitzes as well. He's toughness on both sides of the football. For Lamar, though, today I saw that no Bateman supposedly today.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be Duvernay, of course. As long as you got Mark Andrews beside him, he good.
Right.
He good. They're starting to get the most out of that running game. And as much as I like the Giants, man, I think of my man Royce the 5'9" said paranoid poverty. Hustle is a philosophy. Got to pay that man. Lamar's still trying to get that bag. And he ain't losing. Most of his bad luck has been at home. Remember, they had those 2 losses. They had those close ones they lost at home.
Right.
They went on the road, though, and they're going to win again today, 28-20.
Woo, I got 28-17, Prime. 28-17. Yeah, I got Lamar getting busy today. And that's what it is. But I will state that it just dawned on me that the city of New York It's 7-3.
I try to tell you.
When is the last time the city of New York had a winning record overall, let alone 7-3? That's all right. Now it might be 7-5 after the day, but we shall see. We shall see.
He's a West Coast guy, folks. So, anyway, he's West Coast. Southern football. But anyway, very interesting. Let's move on to the next one. Interesting game. Cardinals versus the Seahawks. And I know we've been on this show screaming, Geno. Geno been slinging that thing. He just ain't told the other side of the football they need to help him out. That defense is terrible, boy. But this is going to be a very interesting game, man. This is going to be a very, very interesting football game. Just on the fact that we expect both of these quarterbacks to be able to, at any given time, to be able to light it up. We've seen it more from Geno this season than we have from Kyler Murray. But we know he's capable at any given time, though.
Well, I will mention that Geno has thrown for over 1,300 yards thus far on the season. 9 touchdowns, only 2 picks to his credit, and his completion percentage is above 75%. Geno looking like he changed his last name to Wilson. Geno Wilson. For real. I mean, looking at these numbers, it looked like Russell Wilson out there, Jones. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson out here looking like what we would have expected from Geno Smith. Oh, I never thought about that.
You mean when Russell was one of the best chefs in the country back then?
Let Russ cook. Now you don't want Russ to cook at all. You want Russ to I don't know what you want Russ to do at this point. But anyway, Geno balling. Got to give Geno credit. Spreading the rock out. Like I said, 75% completion percentage. He's doing his thing. On the other end, we got Kyler Murray. Somebody said Kyler Murray runs like a toddler. And I know a lot of people have said that, but it hit my spirit the last time somebody said it. I was like, man, that's disrespectful. That's a grown man. He might be short, but that's a grown man, and he's saying he runs like a child. A toddler at that. That's disrespectful. Nevertheless, I got to go back and look at Kyler's numbers for real. Okay. 1,200, over 1,200 in the air, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks. Yeah, that sound about right. Looking forward to a good matchup. This is gonna be a shootout today, though, bro. It's gonna be pow pow, OK Corral. That's what I'm seeing. OK Corral style. Geno and them, and it's probably my upset. I think it would be an upset. I'm going Seattle 34-30.
Seattle 34-30. Wow.
Yep. Pow pow.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. If that comes true. I can't ride with you only because not that either defense has been exceptionally great, but that Seattle defense has been trash. Like it's like trash. That man throw for that many yards, and the fact, what I'm saying, that they are that close to actually being 3-2. They that close. It's crazy. So shout out to what they've been able to do offensively. But Kyler is due. He's due to have another big one, and this is the remedy he needs right here. And why I agree with you, could be some points going on. I just think they're gonna score more than what Geno and them got. So I'm going to go 37-28 Cardinals.
Word.
Very interesting game. Who we got up next? Oh, you know what time it is. Let's go on and get on to it. We about to get into a rematch of one of the most exciting playoff games that we have ever seen in our lives. With 4 touchdowns scored in the final 2 minutes of last year's game to decide who was going to the AFC Championship. Of course, we know the Mahomes outdueled Josh Allen's squad. They won it 42-36. Are we expecting the same type of fireworks today?
I guess. I think the approach to this game is going to be a little different. Well, definitely going to be different on the Kansas City side. Obviously, we've talked about it before. The not having Tyree in the offense, which I still think will show itself to be whatever it is, has not caused but so much of an effect on Patrick Mahomes thus far this season. As we talked about previously, where he hit 9 different receivers in the first 2 games. I think it was close to that in the third game as well. And then he got this past week when he hit his man's Travis Kelce for 4 of them things. Travis Kelce
It
did
only
he
had
have 30
25
yards?
yards receiving.
Yeah, I was about to say, no yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. So that's crazy in itself. On the other side, you got another 4 touchdown scorer, don't it? In Davis. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. It's probably the most exciting game of the week. It's not even probably. It is gonna be the most exciting game of the week. Might not be the biggest game of the week. Might be second, but it is gonna be the most exciting.
Yeah, look, I don't know if we're going to actually get that shootout. Well, it could be a shootout. I don't know if we're actually going to get that 42 to 36 that we got last year, but we could. And we absolutely could.
Right.
I just know a lot of games this year. I just knew it was going to be, shootouts. Hadn't turned out that way. I picked some games going to be 40 something to 43-38 or something like that, and the game ends up being 28-27 or 28-24. But this has all the makings of being another great football game. Everybody's got questions. I think more people got more questions about Kansas City than they do with Buffalo. But might I remind people, while Buffalo's been beating the brakes off some people, there's been a couple of games where they looked a little suspect, like when things weren't actually clicking, for this particular squad. Buffalo's defense has been great, a majority of the season. You probably can exclude maybe one game. Kansas City's defense, which was the biggest question to me, it's been pretty darn good, especially the pass rush. Like Chris Jones has been balling. The secondary has been a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. I think they can give up some points, some yards today, though. I think we know Davis and Stephon will both be a major problem. But the people got to come through for Mahomes if they're going to win this game. Because we've seen Juju make some key catches, and we see him drop some or put the ball on the ground. We've seen, MVS make some great catches, then drop the next 3. But so it's going to be interesting. And one thing that I found that was a stat I was looking up. So in his career so far, against top 3 defenses in the league, Mahomes' teams have averaged just under 32 points a game against top 3. So it's no slouch. But we know Buffalo can put that up in a heartbeat too, right? So I think it's going to be interesting, man. I think it's going to be interesting. But it's very rare, if any, I'm going to bet against Mahomes, even though I think Buffalo may be a little more solid as a team. And I'm not going to start that today. I'm going to take the Chiefs 33-31 in a very good game. But this is highlights all over the place in this one.
I'm not even going to pick a score, Prime. I'm going to go with your score. But I did have Kansas City as well. I think Buffalo's a better team, and I think Buffalo will, I got Buffalo in the playoffs. It's early to talk about that, but I looked at Buffalo getting a dub in the playoffs. But this week, I got Kansas City as well. I'm going to just go with the 33-31.
Okay.
I like it.
Indeed. We all looking for this game. I was thinking, and I looked at it wrong last week. I don't know why I was thinking in my mind at one time that this was a night game as well. That we, Cowboys, Eagles was Sunday night, and then that was a Monday night. I don't know what I was looking at. But anyway,
that would have been nice.
It don't matter. It's going to be an outstanding game. Everybody will be watching. So we going to see what's going to happen today.
Yeah.
All right. 2 games left, and let's get to the other big one. That's what everybody been waiting for.
What they waiting for, Brian?
Knock it on out, huh?
What they waiting for?
You know what they waiting for.
Jacksonville
right here.
Oh.
Our boys, your boys, it's going down. And it seems like Caesar got way more hype for this game than either of us do. You would think his team was playing. You know what I'm saying? But he's already jinxed my boys because he took the money on the Cowboys. So that means it's gonna be a problem.
Caesar, I got you. I don't know. I appreciate you taking the Cowboys because we know as Caesar goes, so do the L's. So I appreciate it.
So let's be real. I can't say this really the last couple of weeks. You pretty hype about your birds, and that you've been talking for a couple of weeks. It seems like you've been pretty confident that when we got to Philly, we was gonna get handled. So I mean, I ain't no need trying to hide it. I got the receipts, bro.
That y'all was gonna get. Wait, when I say that, I ain't say y'all was gonna get.
You ain't saying so many words, but you said, and one of the comments you made might be correct. When I put up the stat a couple of weeks ago about giving up 20 points on a game, and at first I thought you were talking about the Rams. We clarified and say no, I'm talking about the following week when we playing y'all. So you were quite confident that we giving up 20 plus in this particular game. He said something else too, but it's your squad. I respect it.
Yeah. Absolutely. We putting up a big 20. We putting up a big 20 plus. Yeah, I know that's gonna be a big deal because y'all haven't given up that much this year, and the Cowboys defense is playing great. Like there's nothing you can say against that squad. Even in game one, when things were looking terrible, when the offense couldn't do anything, the defense still played well against what was it, Tampa Bay, right? First game was Tampa Bay. Yeah, against Tampa Bay, held them to 19. I am I'm not really super hype about this game because Cowboy fans, let me take all the steam out of what y'all will say. If the Eagles get the dub, it's gonna be Dak Prescott wasn't there. That's what it's going to be. If the Eagles happen to lose, it's going to be y'all couldn't even beat us with our backup. We had our backup in the game. He don't even throw the ball but 14 times, and y'all couldn't beat us with that. So it's gonna be interesting, Prime. I know my squad will be ready. That I'm not worried about. And I do see your boy Cooper Rush. Like he better hope somebody's breaking out their route real early, because we're gonna see that man a couple times this evening.
Well, let's be fair. So, comment you made, which could be true about what people gonna say about Dak not being there.
Mm-hmm.
It does hold. You have to respect. It does hold a little bit of water, and the reason I say that, no. Let's be honest. I'm speaking of numbers. Water it stays in the bucket on this one, bro, because he owns Philly. I mean, let's be real. Yeah. No matter how I feel or anybody feels about Dak Prescott, the proof is in the pudding. He owns Philly, right? So let's keep it real. Now, as far as what you were saying about the teams playing each other and it's with this person, without this person, it got done without Rush. To be fair, all I've heard is the fact that the defense is only good because we ain't played nobody, which is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. And I'm going to tell you why. And this shows me people's football IQ. I got to arguing with somebody the other day. I wasn't even trying to get in the conversation. So actually, I don't even argue with folks no more, right? But I walked in on the conversation and somebody was saying the same thing I've been saying on Facebook this entire year about they're only good because they haven't played anybody. And I brought up to this person who eventually told me, I don't get to see a lot of the games because I'm at work all the time. How are you making these comments? But he said we ain't played nobody. And I presented to him, I say Philly's schedule to this point is just as weak as Dallas's. May I add, let's go down. Cowboys played the Bucks, Bengals, Giants, Commanders, and Rams. Your boys have played the Lions in a high-scoring affair, the Vikings, which is a good team, those same Commanders, the Jags, and the struggling Cardinals. Schedule's there's not a big difference in that. So the comment to me just is crazy, right?
Right.
Now, granted, you may be correct. I'm waiting. At some point, the Cowboys defense is going to give up 20. It could be today. As far as I know, they give up 30. But put some respect on their name. They're playing who's on the schedule and dominate. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys first team to ever allow fewer than 350 yards, multiple touchdowns, and multiple sacks. And have multiple sacks in every game the entire season. No team has ever done what they've done, right? Put some respect on it. Of course, it's going to be a week somebody going to line them up. It's a day, I don't know. But at the start, the comment was crazy what these people are making. Now,
Absolutely.
as far as the game is concerned, yeah, man, I think we can beat y'all. I think the one thing that scares me, as dominant as we have been, though, bro, as dominant as we have been, you can run the ball on us. And y'all been dominating on the ground. Have y'all thrown a touchdown in the last 2 weeks or the last second half of that? I don't think so. I know the second half y'all have. I think everything has been on the ground. Y'all have been dominant.
Miles Sanders, Gainwell. Like I'm trying to go through it in my head. But go ahead. Go on.
I don't believe that. Definitely not in the second half. I don't believe
right.
It. Anyway, so y'all run the ball and y'all doing your thing. Quarterback, Hurts is doing it. Sanders is a problem, and that's what scares me because we're gonna be so focused and concentrating on what Hurts is gonna do. It's gonna be some overplays.
Absolutely.
Right? And we're gonna need those players like we've had the last few games. Other than Micah Parsons, we know he is that guy. Put some respect on D. Law's name. Put some respect on Doris Armstrong's name. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on Donovan Wilson's name. These guys have been balling. Bohanna, Odigizua. The entire defense has been balling, right? As far as y'all passing the ball, only thing that really scares me, we know A.J. Brown is a monster. And we saw last week, as good as Diggs plays, he has the tendency to overplay. And so what scares me is like the joint that Cooper Kupp, I was going to say Cooper Rush, Cooper Kupp did, where the pass wasn't so long, he ran the route, he got it, then took off.
Yeah.
That's the problem that A.J. Brown is going to present. We see Diggs on him a lot, right? And Brown's played pretty well. He's given up some plays. So, but yeah, man. One thing I'll say is we are used to being in games. Go back over the years. Remember a few years ago when nobody could beat the Saints and we beat them. We had a game. Was it a couple?
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
It was the same thing against y'all. We came in an underdog. We won the game, and granted, Dak was playing in both of those games. But every time we come in as an underdog, we usually perform. And it's usually a night game, which is crazy. So I'm not going to sell my boys short, whether we win this thing or not. I'm going to say we're going to win it. Rush has a chance to join the 6-0 club of winning the first 6 starts. Do you know who the other quarterbacks who have done it? The only other quarterbacks who have done it.
Ben Roethlisberger?
No. It's the same quarterbacks that did the 5.
I don't know.
Short list. One of them did it 2 years in a row. Patrick Mahomes, Kurt Warner, and you're going to trip when I tell you who the other person is. I'm going to give you a quick hint and see if you get it.
Trent Dilfer. Oh, wait, sorry.
He played on the same team that Kurt Warner once played for.
Oh, Mark
Bolger.
Bolger, yeah.
Mark Bolger did it in 2002. So what I'm saying is he has a shot. We the underdogs. We going in. We're going to try to handle business in this game. We're going to watch CD, who's just like he's going to play today. He had a little bit of an injury. It's going to be a mess trying to deal with Darius Slay. I'm going to keep it real. But we got to do what we got to do, man. Cowboys, 23-22.
Yeah, Prime. I need y'all to focus on the one thing out of what Prime just said. 22. He said 22. I'm just reiterating the fact that the Eagles are going to score more than 20 points. That's all I'm saying. Even Prime said it. Yeah, I know. You said you wouldn't get the dub. That's all that really matters. I get it. But yeah, he did say 22. Because he knows the Eagles offense is not going to be easy to stop. It's going to be a fun game. Somebody in the comments, it said Facebook user, I don't know who it was, said the Eagles are due for a loss. You know that Dallas lost their first game and have not lost since, right? They're not due for a loss?
It is because y'all haven't lost. You got to join the rest of us.
So bring them down. Okay, I get it. Yeah, Prime said it. A lot of Miles Sanders. A lot on the ground. I am interested to see if the Dallas Cowboys have to let Cooper Rush throw the ball. Will he have to throw the ball? What's the most pass attempts he's had this season? Let me check real quick. I'm
Check that
interested.
for me because I know he had a 16 pass attempts last week.
He actually,
2 yards, completed 10 passes, bro.
and interestingly enough, he's thrown at least 27 times every game prior to this one. I would not have thought that. I would not have thought that.
It might be a
27.
similar strategy because the thing is, if we're gonna try to keep y'all high scoring offense off the field, we might need to try to control this thing a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's surprising. 27, 31, and 31 in the other three games. Of course, he came in during the first one, but 16 pass attempts last week. I guess it'll be somewhere in between that 16 and 27, in the 21 range, 21, 22 in my mind. Anyway, it might end up being 40 if we jump on y'all. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think the Eagles will come out with the dub and run this thing on up. I don't feel comfortable saying 30 because the Dallas defense is legit. So I ain't just going to say 30 just to be disrespectful. I'll say 26. 26-17. 26-17 Philly over Dallas.
Fair enough. And I you know what I'm scared of? Just because I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm scared of because they have not officially ruled Dak Prescott out of this game. That we're gonna be answering up to the game, and they will show him over there warming up. There's been a change, and he's not that I scared about Dak ever playing you guys because he owns Philly. I just don't know. But he might be a little rusty when he get back. He might take some, and this might not be the game to do it.
Hey, he walking over, but he limping back. I
saw that. Oh, that's another. I saw that. He made a good back, but it's his hand is hurt. Y'all gonna hurt the man's leg too? Like, oh, bro. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something crazy like, because this is Dallas we talking about. They suit him up. He's available if they need him to play, which and it depends on how things go, whatever. I still think it'd be a rush job, man. Look, we just in week 6. Yeah, you don't want to lose division games, but at the end of the day, y'all got to see us again. And hopefully number 4 is good and ready by then. Go out here and try to win this game. Take the win, take the L, whatever, and let's move on and worry about these people next week. We got plenty of time to still catch up and win this division, all right? So, that's just what it is, man. But I think it's going to be a really good game, man. I really can't wait. The one thing I will say I would like to see, traditionally, the tight ends have given you guys a problem. And I don't know if you noticed, not that Rush really throws the ball a whole lot during the game. They don't like the tight end, bro. Like, he ain't like Dak. Dak will hit Schultz all day long. He used to hit with them all day long. Man, your boy don't like Rush don't like the tight end. It's CD, Noah Brown, or bust. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing.
Y'all heard, I know y'all might have missed it when Prime was talking about Dak. He said a rush job. I just want you to know he said a rush job. Rush. Stick with it.
I might be critical of number 4, but I want him to come back at the right time. The right time.
Not at the nighttime.
Yeah. Unless he's gonna win. But I'm gonna say this though, to end this off though. What you were talking of looking at the pass attempts for Cooper Rush, that needs to be the similar formula when Dak comes back. The similar formula, not the exact formula. Now, granted, he's not going to throw. You should never limit Dak Prescott to 16 pass attempts, but he shouldn't be throwing 50 passes a game either. When the Cowboys were good, when he started his ascension, and they took over, they were running the football. And granted, Zeke ain't the old Zeke, the line ain't the old line, but the formula, when Dak was only putting it up 35, it might have been a 40 game in there, but 35 or so. That's when they were good, and they had a decent defense. This defense so far has been more dominant. You can win with that formula. You actually be scoring points, bro. You actually be scoring points. You might throw an interception or 2, but you're going to be scoring points. I'm just saying. But anyway,
that's the
we going to see. The best team, at least the best team of the day win. Yeah, Because y'all win, I ain't gonna say y'all the best team.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get to our last game, man. The last game, and darn it, Source. How in the world did the Broncos end up on prime time again?
Again,
Bro. Like, what is really going on? What's really good?
They don't care.
Already?
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. They say y'all can suffer through these Broncos one more again. Broncos ain't got nothing going on over there, Joe. Like if there was, did you see the conversation between Richard Hamilton? Who is this Richard Hamilton? Oh, Rip Hamilton. No, it's not him. Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch.
I caught parts of it. I didn't.
Okay.
I haven't gone back to the whole deal, but you talking about Cat's got to say about Russ.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. They didn't want to see him succeed in Seattle, but they all for him succeeding somewhere else. I ain't mad at it. I am curious as to what's going on in Russ's mind, though. I'm curious. Like, does he feel like, man? Well, I guess he couldn't suffer any longer in Seattle, so that wasn't really an option. But was this the right move with this new coach who seems to not make the greatest decisions thus far? Like I feel bad for Russ. And he lost a receiver before the season even started. So I don't know. The 804 kid is not looking like his former self thus far.
Wouldn't it be something if he just has the best game of his career against Caesar's Chargers? You know? Like he just the best game of the season at least. He just come out balling. 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing score. Against the Chargers. Like I don't know. Maybe we can see Caesar off Facebook for a minute.
That would be worth it. It would be worth it.
Caesar, be careful. All I'm gonna tell you though, it ain't me, but the folks. Y'all lose tomorrow on primetime TV. There's some folks in here in the group that's as ruthless as you are.
At your neck.
And when somebody, what's the famous one? I used to shot blame Caesar. They didn't start it. Somebody check on Caesar. I ain't calling no name, but y'all know y'all lie. So we gonna see. But the Chargers been balling though, like lately. Austin Eckler's been balling lately.
I was about to say, yeah.
And they just, they still hitting that injury bug though. So maybe they'll get Keenan Allen back soon. You never know what you can get out of Mike Williams, but you got Austin Eckler as long as he doesn't limp off. They're going against a real defense though. Like you can say what you want to about Denver, but Surtain them still balling.
Mm-hmm.
That defense balls, man. They just as solid. It's just that their offense is not always giving them the support when they need. So, being I still can't trust that offense, and being I'm not quite sure if I still want Russ in the kitchen right now, or do I want to send him back for some cooking classes. I'm gonna roll with the Chargers. I said Caesar ain't got to worry about all that stuff on Facebook at least for a week or so because I think they're gonna take care of business. Even though I'm not 100% sure that we're gonna see like a ton of points scored. This could be one of them games where somebody has an odd number like 19 or something. So I'm gonna go 22-19 Chargers. Actually win this football game.
How you gonna say 19, Prime? I literally just wrote down 19 before you said it. 27-19 Chargers. You said 22-19.
22-19.
Yeah, we ain't even got to talk about anything but Austin Eckler. That's all. We ain't gonna talk about Riblet. Ain't no need to talk about Riblet. We know what it is with him and what he's done, what he does on a regular basis. So, yeah, Austin Eckler getting busy. Out here scoring all the touchdowns in all different ways. All you need to do is throw it, Joan. You got the whole gamut covered.
So, quick question for you: if you had to rank these 4, I don't mean it's lifetime achievement, just right now where we are in the season. These 4 MVP candidates right now, put them in order. So we got Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, and Hurts.
Ooh. I'm gonna put Lamar last just because they keep tricking up games and losing leads. I know it's not necessarily on him, but I mean he does get the ball back. It ain't like he not part of what's going on. So I'll put Lamar last. I'll put do I put Herbert right here? Do I put Herbert right here? Because Eckler return is as much responsible for what's going on in LA
So
as
you put, oh, so
anybody.
you even putting his name in there?
Herbert.
Yeah.
To be honest, well, actually, fair point. And now that I say that and you say that, I would probably say Herbert for. Wait,
No, so I didn't have him in
didn't
there, so you
you
put
didn't
him in
say
there.
Herbert.
I
You
had
said
Hurts. I had Joe Boy.
all right.
I had
So
Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts.
yeah, okay, my bad. Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Allen Mahomes.
You got Mahomes last?
No, first.
Oh, first. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I put. I'm not going. I know. I know that Jalen Hurts was offensive player of the month. I get it. I get all that. I ain't trying to put the cart before the horse. That's all I'm saying. So we're gonna be humble. Sit down and be humble at that 3, and leave Mahomes at the number 1 because he's had to change his approach to the game, and he's still getting busy. And he said, "I'm him," which I didn't really like. I didn't really like when he said, "I'm him." I was like, that don't even sound right coming out your mouth. Like he didn't even look right saying it to somebody. That looked crazy. Nevertheless, I'm sticking with Mahomes at the 1.
yeah, that JB right there. He got Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, and Lamar. Um, I still, call it favoritism, whatever. I got Mahomes first right now, just because what he's been able to do when everybody expect him to fall way off. Um, like we already know what Reek meant to that offense. I mean, it's outstanding, but he's still been able to keep that thing going so far. Then I'm probably going Allen, Hurts, and Lamar. So,
Same.
and I'm gonna be honest with you. People gonna think I'm crazy. I don't think the disparity between those, especially Hurts and Allen, is that big right now. A lot of what happens today could change that.
True.
So
Oh yeah, it's going down today. It's going
yeah,
down today.
yeah. Somebody telling you not to be humble, bro.
You said don't be humble.
Now they say, matter of fact, they say, here you go, they got a message for you.
Say hurt. Is that who is that? Cuzzo?
That was Caesar.
Oh, so I can move on. I can move on.
Say it with your chest. Hey, I don't know. A couple of quick things. I don't know how I even missed this. I didn't even really miss it. I should have brought this up before. You got any crazy? So you told me what you doing in the pot. You ain't got no crazy bets out here for any of these games today. Did your Cowboys, Eagles, or any of your online stuff? Nothing crazy.
Nah, I mean I think nah, I think I had like an 8 game parlay. I had like an 8 game parlay, but let me look back. Now I gotta look at it.
These cats been going hard in the group though. I've been seeing some decent wins and some almost. And then
Yeah.
a couple of y'all asked about cashing out. Now, but somebody that I told you to cash out and you ain't cash out. I don't think you can. I don't think they got that thing. They got to leak over on Monday night.
Let me see. I got this.
Y'all listen, everybody else suffer prime. You could have got paid, but you wanted
I
to wait
got
till Monday night and you didn't get that money.
I got a Cleveland. Oh, hold on. Is that a wait 11? No, 1, 2, 3. Did I do 11 game parlay? I must have been. Yeah, I might have been tripping on that, John. I'm gonna leave it out there though. So I got the 11 game parlay, but I have the question marks are the Colts, the Vikings, and the Browns. Those are
Yeah,
my question marks on that joint. But
indeed.
you can't win if you don't spend. So throw it out there and see what happens.
That's what I should have brought it up during that joint. But did you see this a few weeks ago?
I think I saw it in passing. Yeah.
Dez Bryant, Meek Mill make a 20K bet on Cowboys Eagles Week 6 matchup. Dreams and nightmares. How's it gonna go that?
Woo!
It's gonna be crazy. Must be nice to have money like that.
I don't even want to bet $20, let alone 20,000.
Hey, very last thing, man. Very, very last thing. We're gonna get up out here. So I know we all got lineups uh, to set and things to things of that nature. But the one thing I mentioned earlier that's gonna make me feel good, and even make me feel better if I lose today, but gonna make me feel good regardless, is it's back, baby. The NBA is back this week, and I know some people say I don't pay attention to the NBA until football season over, or at least till Christmas Day. Well, that's what we do. So I am very happy. I've watched quite a few preseason games of various teams, especially my guys, but various teams, and I am very excited that the NBA is back this week, man. How you feeling about it?
I'm excited as well, Prime. It's a lot of good storylines that we're going to get into, throughout the season. It's going to be fun, though. I'm looking forward to it. I already got my 2-3 lineups locked in for opening night, which is only 2 games. And, them 2 games, Jones, is my favorites. My favorites to run a FanDuel lineup on. So I'm looking forward to that. And, yeah, it's going to be an exciting season. I don't like this picture of Jimmy Butler because with the extensions, I need more
Need the extensions on
hang time, baby. Got to have that hang time.
that? It's going to be very interesting. So we tipping off Tuesday night, I believe. So
Yep.
we'll cover games Tuesday night. So, and I'm loving it, not just the fact that it's NBA TV. What's NBA is going to be on TV, but I just love NBA TV. Period. The station.
Yeah.
Especially those first few nights when they doing those hop arounds and stuff. I just love that the whole thing about the set, the atmosphere, everybody. I think all those guys are really good on that. So the NBA is back. And I promise you, next time we have an NBA picture and Jimmy Butler's involved, we're gonna have to have that joint with a whole 9. Indeed, man. So,
hey, before we go, Prime, somebody asked me the other day for my top 5, my starting 5, all NBA white guys.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and I left one off of my list, but I did add it to my. I mean, I put it in my comments that this person would be over one of the people that I said. But do you have a starting 5 white guys NBA?
I have to think about it. To me, of course, there's only one guy that is automatic off top. I ain't got to think about it.
Yeah, of course.
And that's 33 for me.
Absolutely.
Larry Bird, shout out to Brian Austin. And y'all didn't know me back then when I was younger, but I was crazy about the white boy. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, Larry Bird is one of, and people use the term "my fave" so loosely. No, I say this minutely. He's one of my favorite basketball players of all time. It's not even a thought. You might ask me to run off my favorite Knicks or my favorite player ever. Listen, that Larry Bird is one of my favorite players ever. Period. And I'm not even a Celtic fan. But I love him. But I have to think about it. I'm gonna get back to you on that.
Fair enough. I'll give you mine with the correction that I made. I got Steve Nash at the point. People arguing, John Stockton. I get it, but I prefer Steve Nash. I got Jerry West at the 2, the logo. The aforementioned Larry Bird at the 3. At the 4, I got Dirk. And at the center spot, my guy, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
People said Bill Walton.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at Bill Walton, George Michael. Hey, I don't care if you say Rick Smiths. I'm going with Nikola Jokic.
No. Anyway,
Uwe Blob.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. That's just a good list, though. That's a strong list. Definitely probably would pick Nash on that, but I gotta think about it. And do some extensive thinking on that. What you got to think for the people? TikTok, whatever.
Bruh.
Versus.
My joint is restricted. I got restricted.
For real?
Yeah, man. I got into it wasn't even an argument. It was just, I was explaining why Eminem is not the greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion.
Right.
And, once you start talking about Eminem, the stands start popping up. And think one of them got a little offended. I feel like they did one of them fake reports, like I was doing something wrong, hateful behavior. So I got the live suspension until Thursday. Yeah, so maybe Thursday night, maybe Friday we'll do something. But yeah, it's whack. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the algorithms and everything on these joints crazy. Even on Facebook, somebody will say something and it ain't even close to any like a keyword. Or we remove this or whatever, or people getting suspended because I'm seeing some stuff people getting suspended for it, and I'm tripping.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I saw somebody get suspended the other day in a comment about the new Halloween movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just kind of read through the comments. I don't get in a bunch of stuff anymore. I did make comments on one joint, but and by the way, in my personal opinion, it's absolutely trash. Just so y'all know. So I know some people listening who won't agree with me. I can tell by people's comments on all the other posts and the horror movie groups and things. Everybody has a different opinion, which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine. To me, being a diehard, and a lot of you people talking about y'all horror fans and not diehards. You watch the 78 movie, you ain't see the 1978 original version until 1991. Or I was there for all of through the whole time. So, but what pisses me off though is that it's people in here who are trying to say that the people who don't like the movie is because they don't understand the concept of what they did with this movie. The dumbest thing I've heard. The reason people didn't like the movie is absolutely because they do understand the concept of the movie. And they don't like the direction that it was taken. It's not about understanding what they did. We all fully understand what they did and which direction they decided to take. But a majority of and there's thousands of comments. The people didn't like the direction of the movie, especially being this was supposedly the last one, or if it's not the last Halloween movie, supposedly the last one we're going to get from Jamie Lee Curtis. And possibly the iconic, I call him the GOAT of horror figures, Michael Myers. There's a way to end it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Yeah, they ended it, but there's a way to end it. And they didn't do a great job of that. They didn't do a great job of adding people in it that weren't even in the whole franchise to make them focal points of the movie. And I'm going to leave it at that for anybody who hasn't seen it. So, but yeah, people were getting crazy. I saw somebody else said, I'm jumping back in here on my account on this page because my other page got shut down. It's crazy. But yeah, it's interesting. But I feel you, man. People getting banned, locked out, whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So that's what it is, man. So that's all I got. I'll be in here watching these games today. Shout out to I'm keeping an eye on the baseball game as well too. And we'll see what happens. I left some players out today on purpose when we were talking about some of these games because I didn't want to give y'all my FanDuel secret because I almost slipped up a couple of times. And some people I hope are real hitters today, which I think they will be. So I don't need y'all stealing my stuff, man.
That's right.
But until the next time, whenever that is, what I'm saying, I am Prime. That is Source, and we're going to catch you when we catch you.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.